We're thankful to be able to join you from the traditional lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat. Today we have two agendas. We'll start by presentations from Chris and Adam from the City of Ottawa, and then afterwards we'll have updates from municipalities. I'll stop sharing my screen now, and I will invite Chris to share his screen and start the presentation.
I'm Chris Trask. I'm a project officer with the City of Ottawa. We're just going to go over some high-level summary of some green fleet technologies we've tried in the past few years. So first one I want to touch on is the XL Fleet hybrid system. This bolt-on system consists of a battery pack and an electric motor. This is recharged through regenerative braking, and the system works on acceleration. So the electric motor helps power the vehicle upon acceleration, and the manufacturer claims you'll see about a 25% improvement in fuel economy. Part of the system, there's also some telematics in there that report back to XL, so you can get reports from them. So we put this on some F-250s last year and some Transit T250 vans a few years ago. And the F-250s were a good comparison because we bought the same make and model with and without this system. So when we asked XL to run a report for us, they said we were seeing a 17% fuel savings with the vehicles with the system installed. Now, when you go into the fine print of that 17% fuel savings is only when the system is working. It ignores any kind of idle or stop time on the vehicle. So what we did, this here is the life-to-date fuel economy and mileage. So as you can see, the units with the hybrid system are actually getting worse fuel economy than ones without it. Now, there is some high idle time on these vehicles, but that wasn't the result we were expecting to see. And with the Transit 250s, almost very similar results. The units on the top are the ones with the hybrid system. That's the life-to-date fuel economy average, and the ones with the non-hybrid, same there. On the positive side, client feedback on the system has been great. There's been minimal, if any, mechanical issues. And the way the system is installed, if you wanted to disconnect it, you can remove the system. I believe you just need to replace the drive shaft and maybe the axles, but you can completely bypass the system. But the purchase price of this was $20,000 to $25,000 per vehicle, depending on the configuration. And we're not seeing the fuel savings to offset the purchase price on this particular setup. Another system we tried is the Alltech GEM system. It's a job site energy management system. This is a plug-in battery pack for bucket trucks. So the idea with this one is it's a battery pack. It'll run the boom on battery power for about 30 to 40 minutes. It also controls some of the HVAC systems in the cab. So they're saying, if you do this, you're reducing vehicle idle time, you're saving fuel, you're reducing your emissions, and it's also quieter where the truck isn't sitting idling while it's working. This is what the manufacturer claims, and our experience with that hasn't exactly been great. One of the big drawbacks on this system wasn't designed to work in cold weather. So we've actually had batteries freeze on us, which renders the truck inoperable. Unfortunately, the system can't be disconnected. So we've had the batteries freeze, we've had to have them replaced. There's been ongoing issues with sensors and stuff like that, which won't allow the vehicle into drive. So based on the client feedback and the increased maintenance cost and downtime, we looked at the total maintenance and fuel economy on trucks with and without the GEM system. So these are all our trucks with the GEM system installed. They range from 2015 to 2018 units. And what I want to draw your attention to is this fuel economy number here and this average maintenance cost per kilometer, and compare that against trucks without it. So without the GEM system, they're actually getting better fuel economy and they're cheaper to maintain. In Altex Defense, they have a new system coming out. They have incorporated a battery heater with it. Now it's only good to -10 Celsius, so it still may not be suitable for Canadian winters, but there is now a disconnect switch on the system, so you should be able to completely bypass the GEMS hybrid system and run it off the engine PTO. We're hoping that we can do a demo on this system sometime in the new year. So we'll provide feedback on that once we get our hands on the new system. Another one that we've tried is a Fenko system. This one is a little bit different. This is a hydraulic accumulator. So we did a trial on this in 2013, 2014 on 2 of our garbage trucks. So it's a hydraulic accumulator that's charged up under braking power, and the system was supposed to assist the PTO on the engine at idle. So the idea is that you charge up the hydraulic accumulator, that'll help run the PTO when you're running the packer and other hydraulics, and the manufacturer claimed, the system would pay for itself in fuel savings over a couple of years. And much like the GEMS, that is not what we saw. So there were ongoing issues with the system not working properly, increased downtime, and there was no real measurable fuel savings.
Chris, there's a question. What caused the worst fuel economy on trucks with the GEMS installed?
Sorry, what was the question?
What caused the worst fuel economy on trucks with the GEMS installed?
I am honestly not sure. Let's go back here. What was causing the worst fuel economy? They're all used by the same department. They're all similar chassis. I don't know why the ones with the GEMS had higher fuel economy at this point. Like I said, they're all relatively used in the same application. So to see that kind of drastic increase in the fuel economy and the maintenance cost is not what we're expecting to see. I unfortunately don't have an answer as to why the GEMS system is higher on the fuel economy than the ones without it. Part of it is the system isn't working well.
Okay.
So going back to the Fenko, the unit highlighted in that orangey yellow color there, that's the one with the Fenko system installed. So as you can see, manufacturer's claim of fuel savings isn't really reflected in what we've observed. So this is our single stream garbage truck, and this is a trial we did with our dual stream. Similar results with that. So we were working with the vendor to try to get this to work. Initially they said, maybe it's the way the drivers are running, where the system was charged under braking. They weren't braking properly to charge up the system. So we swapped out the drivers on the truck, had the same result. Then they said, maybe it's the route that the truck was running on. So we changed the route that the truck was on, same result. We had some of the guys from the Fenko come out, do a ride along, tweak the system, and still no measurable improvements in fuel economy. So at this point, the systems are either disconnected or removed on our garbage trucks. So after all that of what hasn't worked, what has worked for us, OEM hybrid and electric vehicles, our bylaw fleet is a really good example of this. So last year we added an additional 45 green vehicles to bylaw's fleet. So they're now 85% green. So as you can see, from 2018, we went from 14 green vehicles up to 75 as of last year. And during that time, these are our annual reports. They put on 150,000 more kilometers and saved about 40,000 liters in fuel. So that bylaw fleet consists of, it's a mix of Ford Escape and Ford Explorer hybrids, some Toyota RAV4s, some Hyundai Ioniq hybrids, and the Kona full electric SUVs. Client feedback has been great, no real maintenance issues. And in terms of savings, we will probably see over the life cycle of the vehicle, will easily offset the cost of going from a gas to a hybrid vehicle with the fuel savings. So just a very quick summary of what we talked on here. So the XL fleet, we've had this, 2016 units going forward, approximately the $20,000 to $25,000 per vehicle to install this on the F250s and T250s. With electric and hybrid units coming to market now, you're in a very similar price point, just buying an OEM solution. That F-150 Lightning, similar towing capacity to an F-250, not the same payload, but you're in the same ballpark price range of buying an F-150 Lightning from Ford as to buying an F-250 and putting this bolt-on system onto it. The GEM system was about $30,000 to install it on these vehicles. The original system increased maintenance cost, increased fuel economy. The new system, we're hoping to see if we're going to have the same issues, especially in the wintertime, but we won't know until we get our hands on the demo. There's also some companies are working on full electric bucket trucks. It'll be a small production run, but Lion Electric out of Quebec, they're coming out with a full electric bucket truck in the next 2 years, I believe. The Fenko System, about $50,000 to install that on our units, and no measurable fuel savings on that. We reached out to a couple of other municipalities and they had a similar experience. So there was one municipality, they contracted out their solid waste and had them report their total fuel economy or fuel consumption for the year with and without the system, and they didn't notice any savings either. So that one doesn't seem to work. Another one we were looking at was a Dynacert trial. It's like a water injection system for a diesel, but there wasn't really enough data for us to support doing a trial on this. And just go back, like what has worked seems to be the OEM solutions for us. So going forward, we'll see what electric vehicles and all that are coming to the market, but that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on. So I'm looking forward to any questions or feedback with other people's experience with these technologies.